I would like to reconvene the meeting and call this meeting to order for the City Council meeting on August 7th, 2018. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cordero?
Here.
Councilmember Moats? Councilmember Waterfield? Here. Madam Mayor Patino?
Here. City Attorney, Mr. Trujillo, could you please give the closed session report?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There is no reportable action this evening. That
Thank you.
concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Trujillo. Our first order of business is the presentation of Santa Maria Valley Beautiful Awards. Serena, would you like to come up to the podium and introduce yourself?
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council members, and fellow citizens of Santa Maria. I am Serena Marie Bergiotti, the 2018 President of Santa Maria Valley Beautiful. Thank you for allowing us to recognize our top 2017 beautification winners this evening at this City Council meeting. Santa Maria Valley Beautiful serves as a community leader in protecting, preserving, and promoting a healthy, aesthetically pleasing environment, creating a unique identity for all who live in Santa Maria Valley. Each year since 1963, during the month of May, Santa Maria Valley Beautiful judges have moved through the Santa Maria Valley, reviewing all Valley residents' yards in pursuit of 5 manicured front yards in each of the 17 districts that encompass our entire valley. These categories are Best Geraniums, our city flower, Best Use of Color, Best Theme, Best Drought Tolerant, and Sweepstakes. Tonight, due to time constraints at this council meeting, I am honored to present with Mayor Alice Patino the President's Award, Heritage Award, and the top 6 category award winners chosen by our special committee of judges. These top award winners were chosen from the 85 winners throughout the Santa Maria Valley. The 79 remaining awards, plus commercial awards, will be presented at 6 p.m. this evening at the Santa Maria Public Library, Shepherd Hall. Tonight, we are awarding the following winners. Will the winners please come up as your name is called to receive your certificate from Mayor Alice Patino. Best Geranium, Santa Maria City Flower. Congratulations to the 2018 winners, Stephen and Shelley Brown, 2743 Lawrencita Lane. As you can see, the Browns have showcased the geraniums, our city flower, throughout their first front yard landscaping. You can see the brilliant use of red geraniums, showing their commitment to keeping the city flower alive and present within our valley. Elsie Garcia, can you please accept the award for the Browns? Best Use of Color. Congratulations to the 2018 winner, Randy Rogers, 5715 Antelope Trail. His use of color is astonishing this year. The exceptional design ability, along with the expansive use of color flora combinations within his landscaping, affords all who view it a breathtaking experience. Well deserved for this year's Color Award. This year we have chosen 2 theme homes. Best Theme, French Cottage. Congratulations to the 2018 winners, Tim and Jacqueline Hedden, 212 Palm Court. Their French-themed home came from a dream and was designed and built by locally renowned Gaylord Jones in 1932. The brick driveways and walkways lead to the front door and tour it. You are immediately greeted by the smell of red roses that peek over the lovely entry wall, along with the lovely array of yellow and lavender flowers that greet you along the walkways. It definitely displays the French charm. Theme Country Cottage. Congratulations to the 2018 winner, Joyce Gameson, 490 New Love Drive. This country home yard is surrounded by a white picket fence with an expansive lawn, just steps inside, and the placement of an antique wagon filled with colorful plantings. Along the front entry and side yard, you will find colorful flora and well-appointed pink roses. It has the feel of being in the country with the convenience of city life. Best Drought Tolerant. Congratulations to the 2018 winners, Mark and Jennifer Teixeira, 5775 Oak Hill Drive. This beautifully appointed drought-tolerant yard presents a fully surrounded landscaped home with a variety of drought-tolerant plantings, including color throughout. They have accomplished the best of both worlds by using water-wise planting and putting a high value on the conservation of our water resources without compromising the use of beautiful plantings, design, or color. It's beautiful. They're all very beautiful. Sweepstakes Award. Congratulations to the 2018 winner, Marion Long, 508 Marion Drive. Her exceptional design ability combined with her layers of color and use of color combinations within her landscaping is the reason she has achieved high honors throughout the years Santa Maria Valley Beautiful has been in existence. Her artistic talent is used each year to give our community and judges the presentation of an extravagantly landscaped treasure. Thank you for sharing your talent and commitment with our community. Congratulations. The 2018 Heritage Award winner is Frederick J. Pratt, 917 Speed Street. The Heritage Award is given to a home that has been a consistent top winner throughout the years. This mission-style landscaped home has received top honors throughout the 63 years that Santa Maria Valley Beautiful has been in existence. The bubbling mission-designed water feature in the center of the yard, along with the expansive use of color plantings, provides all individuals that pass with a feast for the eyes. This Lifetime Achievement Award is well-deserved. We honor Frederick Pratt's commitment to always presenting a beautiful yard to share with our community. Congratulations. Mr. Pratt is unable to join us this evening, so our board member Cheryl Beatty will accept this honor on his behalf. The 2018 Presidential Award winner is Santa Maria High School, 901 South Broadway. Ken Cropetti, plant manager, will be accepting the award this evening on behalf of Santa Maria Joint Union High School District. This year's President Award winner, Santa Maria High School, was established in 1891 and graduated its first class in 1894. It has served to educate our Santa Maria Valley youth for over 127 years. The location in the heart of our city has always made it a pillar of our downtown community, greeting our visitors with its traditional mission-style architecture and graciously landscaped yards. As Santa Maria Joint Union High School District expands the school, we appreciate Dr. Mark Richardson and his top staff's commitment to keeping the mission-style architecture theme and impeccably landscaping throughout the school grounds. It serves as part of our core gateway to our beautiful city downtown area and is well deserving of this award. Congratulations. This concludes our special awards presentation this evening. I would like to extend an invitation to the mayor and city council members, along with the attendees this evening, to join us after the council meeting as we honor all the Santa Maria Valley Award winners at the Shepherd Hall this evening. The Santa Maria Valley Beautiful thanks each of you for your commitment to making our city a better place to live and work. Thank you.
Thank you, Serena, and thank you everyone who has made this your yard so beautiful, so then people drive around and they get to see how beautiful they are, and Santa Maria Valley Beautiful does a great job. If you've not been in the back, behind those new buildings at Santa Maria High School, that is beautiful back there too. Maybe you should start doing backyards.
We are thinking about that next year.
Yeah.
A backyard tour.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda will be the public comment period. Madam Clerk, would you please read the criteria for the public comment portion of the agenda?
Yes, if I can just find my spot again. This time is reserved to accept comments from the public on consent agenda items or matters not otherwise scheduled on the printed agenda this evening. Unless otherwise directed by the mayor, speakers will have 3 minutes to comment. Direction to staff may be given, however, state law does not allow action to be taken by the city council on matters not on the printed agenda this evening. Once the public comment period commences, no other speakers will be allowed to request to speak for them.
Do I have any speakers this evening?
And I do not.
My goodness, no request to speak. Okay, so that concludes the public comment portion. Moving on to the consent calendar. Madam Clerk, could you please read item number 3?
Routine items are presented for city council approval without discussion as a single agenda item in order to expedite the meeting. The consent calendars are approved by roll call vote with one motion. These items are discussed only on the request of council members.
Does anyone have items they wish to pull for discussion?
Madam Mayor, I do. I just want to make a comment on item 3-4A. Do I go ahead and do that now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. And it's in regards to Caltrans and the pavement rehabilitation and that whole issue. And I guess my question to Public Works, because we have dealt with utilities, we have dealt with trout cans before with the revitalization of the downtown, where we got that $400,000 grant to revitalize things. We had, and it's two separate things, we had our public comment meeting where people came in and decided this is what they wanted to do. Are they going to go back and tell us, no, we can't do this with your utility money? Say, no, we're going to give this to you, but we're going to take it back, just like they did with the revitalization. But there's two answers in two parts, so I'm just kind of curious about this whole dilemma that we are with revitalizing downtown.
To answer your first question, yes, we got $300,000 streetscape money, and we produced a conceptual plan showing what we wanted for the downtown, and we had high detail in there. We had turn lanes that were removed and lane widths that were reduced and changes to the right-of-way. And Caltrans had an issue with that until we do in-depth study. So what we agreed with Caltrans is we'll produce a conceptual study with a lack of lane widths and specificity on the exact details that will be brought before you for approval. After that, we're going to do a traffic plan with Caltrans, doing a detailed study of the engineering in the downtown. And from that, we'll come to a total agreement about what our future lane widths, sidewalks, and all other facilities will look like.
So during our public outreach that we had with our citizens of Santa Maria, where we went and decided what we wanted to put, what kind of aesthetics and what kind of, that's not lost.
No, that is not lost at all.
Okay, it's just delayed.
Well, the conceptual plan will be brought before you, and then staff will work with Caltrans in a detailed manner, doing a traffic study in order to find all the fine details of what we're going to actually build in the right-of-way.
Okay,
So the public input was not lost.
great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Cordero?
No, I don't have
Oh, you didn't? Oh, I thought you turned it. You didn't? Okay.
With that, Madam Mayor,
Okay.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve our consent calendar.
Okay, having heard the motion in a second, any further discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Waterfield?
Yes.
Councilmember Moats?
Yes.
Councilmember Cordero?
Aye.
Madam Mayor Patino?
Aye. The next item is a regular business item. Madam Clerk, could you please read the title?
The City Council will consider an amendment to the California Public Employees Retirement System CalPERS contract.
Thank you
And we'll have the
very,
Director of Human Resources, Ms. Sanderson.
yes, thank you very much, Madam Mayor and Honorable Council. Tonight, the item that's before you for consideration, the recommendation is to adopt a resolution of intention to approve an amendment to the contract between the Board of Administration of the California Public Employees Retirement System and the City Council of the City of Santa Maria in order to implement cost sharing as outlined, and to introduce an ordinance for first reading and continue to the next meeting for second reading and adoption authorizing an amendment to the contract between the Board of Administration of CalPERS and the City Council of the City of Santa Maria, and to authorize the city clerk to execute required CalPERS certifications. Now, Public Employees Pension Reform, PEPRA of 2013 allows cities to negotiate various levels of contributions between the cities and their employee groups. They call it cost sharing, allowing employees to share portions of the costs. And there's two sides to that. There's the employee share, and then there's the employer's share. And so when they share a portion of the employer's side, they call that cost sharing. And so the collective bargaining agreements are what sets that forward. And when employees share on the employer's side, then even though they're paying a portion of the employer's portion, employees get that back when they retire. So they're paying it in now, but then when they retire, it's part of what they've paid in. And so through this last year, we've been negotiating with employee groups, and some of the employee groups, all the groups that we were negotiating with, they all agreed to pay in portions of PERS, but some are paying on the employee side, but some are paying on the employer's side. So tonight, what we have before you it's affecting those that are paying on the employer's side. We don't need to amend PERS contracts on those that are paying on the employee's side. It's just the employer's side. And I'm sorry if that sounds kind of convoluted, but that's what PERS requires. We have to amend the PERS contract for the cost sharing side.
Because PERS can't go forward until it comes before City Council and we either agree to it or don't agree to it, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. We have to agree to amend the contract for PERS, and
Okay.
that's for employees to pay a portion of the employer's side. Yeah, they can pay all they want on their side.
Right.
Right. And so anyway, so the groups that we're talking about are SEIU, NMAC, which are the non-represented management and confidential employees, and the public safety managers. And they all have different percentages that they're paying in depending on what we negotiated with them. And the second tier of the new local miscellaneous SEIU groups are paying 0.5%. NMAC miscellaneous members are paying 2%. The public safety members are paying 9%. First tier classic local fire members are paying 11%. Second tier classic fire members are paying 15%. And new local fire members under public safety managers are paying 9%. So I realize those are a lot of different numbers there, but it's on the second page of the agenda report. And those are all going on the employer's side. So those changes all need to be made to amend the contract with PERS, and those will be reflected in the contract changes. And employees will fill out a ballot to just confirm that they agree with that they know that. They've already agreed to it, but PERS requires an actual separate ballot to do that. So tonight, the action that is before council is to first adopt a resolution saying we intend to enact an ordinance to make that change. So there's actually two separate changes that need to take place. And so the City of Santa Maria has already passed our budget with a lot of budget-saving, cost-saving measures. This is one of many. And all of our employee groups that we negotiated with this year, as I said, all took some kind of cost-saving measures, or agreed to take cost-saving measures to pay into PERS. But this is just one of many. And so it's imperative that this goes through in order to continue with essential and critical services to our residents. And if you have any questions, I'll be
Any
happy.
questions, Ms. Anderson? Okay. Madam Clerk, do we have any correspondence?
And no request to speak
No
either.
request to speak? Okay, I'll bring this back to the council for discussion or a motion.
Madam Mayor, I'd like
Yes.
to go ahead and make it the motion. And is this going to be two separate or three separate motions that we need to make, or can we blanket it all under one?
Well, there is a resolution and there is an ordinance, so...
Okay, I'll do it two separate. Do you want me to do it that way?
Rhonda, what do you, it probably,
I don't think it's necessary to do them separately. I think
Okay.
it'd be all
Okay.
all
That's
one
fine with me.
motion.
Okay, that's fine. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution of intention to approve an amendment to the contract between the Board of Administrations of CalPERS and the City Council of the City of Santa Maria in order to implement cost sharing and to introduce an ordinance for first reading and continue to the next reading for a second reading and adoption, authorizing an amendment to the contract between the Board of Administration of CalPERS and the City Council of the City of Santa Maria, and to authorize the city clerk to execute required CalPERS certifications.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor to adopt the resolution, introduce an ordinance, and authorize execution of certifications regarding the same. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Waterfield?
Aye.
Councilmember Moats?
Aye.
Councilmember Cordero?
Aye.
Madam Mayor Patino?
Aye. The next item is another regular business item. Madam Clerk, could you please read the title?
The City Council will consider the quarterly financial report and approve an operational amendment for the fourth quarter ending June 30th, 2018.
Staff report is to be made by Director of Finance, Mrs. Harvey.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members, staff, and the public. Tonight, I will briefly present the fourth quarter financial report for the period ended June 30th, 2018. Although these are not audited numbers and balances will change as normal year-end adjusting entries are made, the report does give a general picture of how the city ended the fiscal year. I will primarily review the general fund, including Measure U, and the enterprise funds. The beginning general fund balance of $10,071,920 is the final audited balance at July 1st, 2017. Regarding city revenues, 3 of the 5 key revenue sources exceeded prior fiscal year receipts. Sales tax had the largest dollar amount gain at nearly $1.8 million, or 8.4% greater than the prior year. Property tax showed the largest percentage increase at 9.4%, or $1.6 million more than last year. Unfortunately, these gains were offset by 46.6% decrease in licenses, permits, and fees, a reduction of $2.6 million. The $1.8 million increase in sales tax receipts is the result of businesses opening at Enos Ranch that contributed to more sales in general consumer goods and restaurant and hotel industry groups. In addition, there was continued growth in building and construction sales and fuel prices. Although the increase in sales tax is encouraging and the city expects to receive a steady stream of sales tax from the Enos Ranch development, it is important to note that initially those revenues will likely spike for the first 6 months to a year before coming down to a more realistic level. NHIS revenues are at nearly $1.5 million, which is a decrease of 7.5% as compared to approximately $1.6 million in receipts received through the fourth quarter last year. This reduction was expected, and in fact, staff had reduced NHIS projections for 2017-18 to $400,000. The unexpected uptick in NHIS revenues is due to the revenues primarily received in the second quarter for the Chevron project at the Orcutt refinery site that required more excavation than expected. However, since the completion of that project, NHIS activities have slowed significantly, and staff does not expect those activities to pick up much over the next year. For that reason, staff is only projecting NHIS revenues of about $400,000 for the next fiscal year. As mentioned earlier, permit revenues decreased by 46.6%, or $2.6 million, compared to the prior fiscal year. The reduction is primarily due to permits issued in the previous year for Enos Ranch development. However, staff planned for this decline and lowered the estimated permit revenues for 17-18, and actual permit receipts for the year are at about $3 million, or 17% more than we budgeted. General fund expenditures are at 94.9% of budget and include the $2.6 million in salary savings from personnel vacancies in various departments. Based on preliminary revenue and expenditures, it appears that the $2.6 million transfer from the LEAF fund may not be needed to maintain a general fund balance of $10.1 million. While this is good news, I would be remiss if I did not reiterate that LEAF reserves are intended to address severe shortfalls in revenue that are temporary in nature. And the current reserve LEAF balance of $6.3 million is not sufficient to mitigate the acceleration of ongoing pension and other operating costs the city is facing. Turning to Measure U, revenues through the fourth quarter are 107% or $4.8 million. Expenditures are $4.6 million and exceeded budget by 1% as a result of higher personnel costs than originally expected. Overall, Measure U revenues exceeded expenditures by $207,000, increasing the fund balance to about $524,000. Through June, roughly 90% of all Measure U expenditures were spent on public safety activities, with 38% expended on fire operations and 52% expended on police operations. As for the enterprise funds, the water and wastewater fund revenues exceeded expenditures by $9.3 million. Revenues included state water reimbursement fees of $2.2 million and $1 million in water sales to Montecito. Expenditures included the semi-annual debt service payments totaling $4.6 million of principal and interest on the 2012 refunding bonds. For the solid waste fund, revenues exceeded expenditures by $1.6 million, with capital expenses about 57% or $859,000 greater than the prior year. The transit fund showed revenues greater than expenditures by $2.6 million. Fare revenues for the year are at $833,000, an increase of about $49,000 compared to the prior year. 3 Clean Air Express buses account for the majority of the capital expenditures. Again, these are unaudited numbers, but it does provide an overview of how the city ended the fiscal year. In conjunction with the fourth quarter report, staff recommends one budget amendment for council's consideration. That concludes my report, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions of Ms. Harvey? Dr. Moats?
Yeah, it looks like the enterprise funds, the 3 of them, made a lot of money. Like maybe $11 million. So what are we going to do with the $11 million? Is it going to be refunded to ratepayers? Is it going to be used for capital expenses?
There are capital expenses that will be coming up. I don't know if Mr. Springer may want to address some of the capital expenditures in.
Honorable Mayor and council members, Mary Harvey is absolutely correct. The enterprise funds are generally set up. We have a capital improvement plan where we look at large capital expenses we'll be spending over the next 5 to 10 years. So part of our rate study and the funding that we do is we try to accumulate capital toward those expenses so that we don't set rates too low. Then when we have a capital expense, we're automatically jumping rates up to a high rate to cover those and then back down and back up. So it provides consistency for the ratepayer. It also reduces costs in the long run because we're not needing to bond or borrow money for those capital expenses. So we're planning ahead. So essentially we're saving for those future capital expenses.
Any other questions?
Well, just an observation.
Go ahead.
On the public transit, I think it's really great that we can have buses that run around with hardly any people in them, and the city can make a $2.6 million profit on them. That's not right.
The bus ridership number is low, but it isn't a profit. It's a similar thing as Director Springer just mentioned, where we are collecting revenue from the federal government to offset capital costs related to maintaining the Santa Maria area transit system.
They pay us well.
It's well subsidized.
With your tax money, thank you.
Madam Clerk, do we have any correspondence?
No, Madam Mayor. We
Any
have
requests to speak?
No requests to speak.
Okay, I'll bring this item back to the council for discussion or motion.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to I would like to make a motion to adopt resolution approving the amendments to the 2017-18 budget and authorizing the city managers to implement the same.
Second.
It's been moved in second to adopt the resolution approving an operational amendment with the fourth quarter report.
I'll second that.
Okay,
I think we already had a second.
it's already been second, but you can give it a third, that's fine. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Waterfield.
Aye.
Councilmember Cordero.
Aye.
Councilmember Moats.
Aye.
Madam Mayor Patino.
Aye. The next item will be a report by the city manager, Mr. Stillwell.
Thank you, Mayor Patino, members of council. Based on the council's action tonight, the meeting of August 21st is canceled. And then, so the next meeting of the city council will be September 4th. Proposed for that agenda will be we have additional agreements for dispatching service underway. We anticipate having an agreement with Hancock College brought to the council tonight, similar to the agreement the council adopted tonight for the city of Guadalupe. We also have a lease addendum for the Moxie Cafe at the library. That'll be opening up next week, as will be the reopening of the library bookshop. And we also will be returning with appointments by the city council for positions on the Community Development Block Grant Advisory Committee and the Santa Maria Television Oversight Committee. That concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll go to oral reports from council members. Ms. Waterfield, start with you.
Okay, Madam Mayor. Gosh, it's been a little slow, but it's been good. I attended with the Santa Maria Chamber of Commerce. It was a meeting connecting Santa Maria to a regional economy, which was a very interesting meeting, and there will be more to come in regards to this. I attended on Wednesday, the 25th, Measure U discussions at the Honda conference room, and also meeting regarding a Ray Road project. I also attended Los Adobes Did Maria grand opening, and that apartment complex is amazing. It's just very, very nice, and it's for farm worker housing, and they're very fortunate to have such a beautiful place to live. It's just such a nice apartment complex, and it's just with all the bells and whistles on it. And my exciting attendee was attending my son and daughter-in-law's baby shower in Arizona. And so it'll be my 11th grandchild, and it'll be a boy. So that was very exciting. And that's it.
Dr. Moats.
Well, I was on vacation. I traveled to Washington, D.C., and I went to our congressman's office, but he wasn't there. Had he been there, I would have discussed municipal matters with him. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Dr. Moats. Mr. Cordero.
Yes, Mayor. On August 1st, I attended the 40th graduation, or CET graduation, at the fairgrounds, and it was quite an event. A lot of proud young people there. And then on August 2nd, I attended the Free Family Day in the Park at Grogan Park, and it's a program that Parks and Rec partnered with the Elks, and we made I wrote a grant from the Elk side and received some money to pay for some things that these young people can use and be rewarded with, so that they don't just become kids hanging out in the street. They're doing something constructive with Parks and Rec almost every day. And this time we gave out just some T-shirts that had the Elk insignia and a couple of different words on them. And then we're over the time when a child is seen doing something good, they're rewarded by giving a free movie pass, and all that was paid for by the Elks. And worked closely with Teresa Rayburn and several people from the Parks and Rec that do just an excellent job of addressing the needs and keeping these kids under control. I learned that the food bank supplies a lot of the food to feed these young people. And back in my young patrol days, there was a group of young people called The Crowd. and they've all grown up. They're in their 50s. They become fine citizens, community supporters, and they came up with $5,000 that Teresa's also using to support this program for the rest of the summer. And that would be it for me.
Thank you.
Oh, I should say, I'm sorry, I
ahead.
failed to. I met with Salud Carbajal in his office here in Santa Maria a couple of weeks ago, and he's looking into how the recent Supreme Court decision is going to be worked on. In other words, as an internet purchaser like Amazon or something like that, the purchaser is going to now be taxed based on the tax structure in their district or where they live, and that money will then be returned to the city. But there was no mention of how that happens. We've kind of come to the conclusion that the county will probably collect it, and then the county will divvy it out to the various communities that it should go to, county and the 8 cities. It was a productive meeting in the sense that I'd been complaining about it for a couple of years, and why don't we get that tax money? Because there isn't any. Not all companies tax it. They just tax-free. So now there will be some sort of a revenue coming in, and that I don't know how much it's going to amount to, but there'll be something.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you. July 18th, I met with the Association of Professionals and Students. I attended the Marion Medical Foundation Board of Directors meeting. On July 19th, I had an SBCAG monthly board meeting and went to the Santa Maria Connect. On July 20th, attended the Connecting Santa Maria to a Regional Economy and went to the special chamber mixer on the downtown Friday, which is, if you haven't gone, you really, really need to go. It is so, it was really fun. A lot of families, there's families and kids, and it's really mellow and it's on a Friday night. They had a great band stepping out, absolutely. They always have good music. July 21st, I went by the sculptures in the park. They're out at Presker Park. So if any of you get a chance to see the sculptures. July 22nd, I attended Concert in the Park, Unfinished Business was playing that day. July 25th, I gave a welcome to the Southern California Junior Olympic Swim Meet at Paul Nelson Aquatic. There were 900 swimmers there. So there, and a lot of the swim clubs here in Santa Maria, there's quite a few here in Santa Maria that we have that do swim. I met with the president of the Coastal Community Builders, and on July 30th, I attended the Northern Santa Barbara County Broadband Invitation. I went to the Special Olympics Northern Santa Barbara County Check Presentation and Barbecue at Manami Community Center. And on August 1st, I attended the graduation, the CET 40th Anniversary Graduation and Celebration at the Santa Maria Convention Center. And August 6th, the Santa Maria Joint Union High School District had their Career Technical Education Center Ag Farm groundbreaking. And if you get, it's probably in the newspaper, but if you don't get an opportunity to see this, I want to say congratulations to the Santa Maria Joint Union High School District and to Dr. Mark Richardson and the other staff that made this happen. But this should have happened decades ago, where you're going to have a Career Technical Education Center. Probably by the time they get it built, it's going to be overflowing with students because it's going to be beautiful. It's out near the Elks Rodeo grounds. And that afternoon, I went to a swearing-in for Police Officer Matthew Downs, a new police officer here in Santa Maria. Did the Ben Hayes radio show this morning, and as soon as this is finished, we're going to head over to the Santa Maria Beautiful 49th Annual Residential and Commercial Award presentations at Shepherd Hall, and then going over to National Night Out at Presker Park. So everyone is invited. Any other comments from the dais? If not, ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is adjourned.